in my bones.
Hello, and welcome to Reading Freedom, a podcast where we explore important books and history and try to understand the world better. My name is Anastasia Wolf.
And I'm Manuela Addo. Today we will talk about Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl by Harriet Jacobs. This book taught us a lot about slavery in America and about courage and survival.
Manuela, why did we pick this book?
Well, in our English class, we learned about slavery in America. But most of the time, we often read our fictional stories and political articles. Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl is different because it's a biography. Harriet Jacobs tells what life was really like as a slave, especially as a woman.
Yes, we wanted to understand how it felt to live in that time. The book is not easy to read. Some parts are very sad, but it is important.
In the book, Harriet Jacobs, called Linda Brand in the story, is born a slave. Her enslaver, Dr. Flint, is very cruel and wants to control her life. She refuses to obey him.
To escape from him, she hides in her grandmother's attic. The space is so small, she even can't stand up. She stays there for a long period of time, even though it's dark and she can't move much.
In the end, she escapes to the north and comes together with her children. But even when she's free, she writes that real freedom means having a safe home for her family. She never stops fighting for that. So, Anastasia, how do you think it felt for Harriet to constantly be watched by Dr. Flint? Always having someone control your life must have been terrifying.
Yes, it must have felt like she had no freedom at all. Dr. Flint controlled every part of her life, even her body. How do you think you would have reacted if you were in her position, constantly living in fear?
I think I would have been very scared and hopeless. But at the same time, I think I would have fought back in any way I could. How do you think Harriet found the strength to keep going, even when things seems impossible?
I think it was her love for her children that kept her going. The idea of being free for them so they wouldn't have to live the same life she did gave her the strength to keep fighting. Do you think you could have made the same choices she made, like hiding for so long?
Good question. I don't know if I could have done it. Hiding for so many years sounds unbearable. But if I had no other choice, I hope I could be as strong as she was. But what do you think was the hardest decision she had to make during her journey?
I think the hardest decision was when she had to leave her children behind when she first ran away. She didn't know if she would ever see them again. That must have been heartbreaking. Would you have been able to do that?
It would be so difficult, but I think I would have done it if it was the only way to protect them. The fear of never being able to see them again would be so terrible. But I guess I would have chosen to give them a chance at freedom too.
So, Manuela, what did you learn?
I learned that history is not just about kings and presidents. It's about people like Harriet, women who fought quietly but powerfully. Her story is still important today because many people still fight for freedom and human rights. And you, Anastasia?
So, I learned that freedom is not just about escaping slavery. Harriet wanted freedom for her children and a safe life for herself. She was very strong, even when she was scared.
Phew, this was a very emotional book, but we are glad we read it.
Yes, and we hope you will read Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl too. It really helps us understand history in a deeper way.
Next time, we will talk about another book that changed how we see the world. Until then, stay curious and keep learning.
Alright, guys, this is the end. I hope you really enjoyed it, and we wanted to thank you for listening to Reading Freedom. Bye bye.
Bye!